Get ready to meet someone who's breaking barriers and connecting cultures. Trang Phan. She is the CEO of Canada Vietnam Cultural and Educational Council, who is not just an educator, but a visionary CEO who's bridging the worlds of Vietnam and Canada through education and cultural exchange. She's been named the most empowering woman in education in 2024 and one of the top edupreneurs of 2023. And just yesterday, she received Vietnam Top 10 National Intellectual Award. And her accomplishments are not just there. There's a lot more. And to know what's her secret to inspiring change worldwide, you will find out on this episode of Hanson Career Connect. Welcome to Hanson Career Connect, Trang. It's such a pleasure to have you here today.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for the invitation. It's also my pleasure to be here just sharing my story with Hanson College.
That's awesome. We're looking forward to that. So, Trang, you have had such a transformative career. You're an educator, you're a CEO, you're a mentor. But let's get real. What's the why behind it all? What kept you motivated to achieve all you have accomplished?
Honestly, I like to think it all started with a cup of coffee and an unstoppable sense of curiosity. But in reality, I just can't receive that spark in someone's eyes when they realize they're capable of so much more, especially if they come from a background where opportunity seems scarce. Every time a student discovers a new path forward or a teacher finds a fresh way to inspire, it feels like a little victory for humanity. That's what keeps me going, seeing some people light up with possibility and knowing I can play a small part in unlocking their potential.
There's so many of us who actually wants to make a difference, but very few who can actually make it, who can actually achieve what you have achieved so far, Trang. It's very incredible.
Oh, thank you.
You were born and raised in Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
Which part of Vietnam you were born in?
Hanoi.
Hanoi.
Yeah.
Oh my God, beautiful. Okay, and then when did you move to Canada? And what inspired you for this change?
I moved to Canada 3 years ago, but it all started when I was in high school. I don't know why, but when I was 15 years old, I loved English. I listened to English songs, something like that, and I told my mom, please send me to America. So at that time, I just think about America. So my mom said, I'm sorry, I don't have money. So during that time, I'm a dreaming girl. So I keep learning English and keep discovering about that word outside. And I found, and until until 2017, I'm still thinking about America. But that time, I born my first baby boy.
Yeah.
I raise him, I teach him English. Like I make him to be well preparation before we move out.
Okay.
Because I'm still thinking I need to move out.
Yeah.
But when he was, luckily that when he was 2 years old, he know lots of things.
Okay.
And he told me, Mom, Canada, because I love snow, I love Canada, I love polar bear, something like that. He keeps repeating that. He even draw and he even record video. He keep searching on YouTube, something like that. I think, okay, maybe that's my dream destination. So we decided to apply for a high skilled worker to move to Canada. And I first landed in New Brunswick as an educator, work in a wee college.
Okay.
But
When did you move? Like which part of the year? Was it winter, summer?
in winter?
In winter. So from the warmest place to the coldest, how was the feeling?
I don't know why, but that time I just felt, amazing, that's mine.
It's
that's,
snow.
Yeah, it's my dream destination. Like me and my son always dream about that. And New Brunswick has a lot of snow.
Yeah, that's
like deep in snow for 6 months.
yes.
And my son keep going outside and playing with the snow, something like that. And he said to Mom, thank you so much.
Oh.
And when we moved here, he was 8 years old. He's the role model that I really want to be. I don't know why, but he read lots of books. He keep watching, and he keep raising his idea. When we were in New Brunswick, we met the parliament member. In that event, I have a chance to welcome the mayors from the area. And my son, he told me that, Mom, could you please let me do it? When he was 8 years old only.
Wow.
He did it. He welcomed the mayors. He sit with them and sharing his projects. And after the events, the mayor come to me and come to him and give give him a spin of the city.
Yeah.
And okay, so this is my right decision to move to Canada.
And for 8 years to
Yeah.
actually share his ideas with the mayor.
Yeah,
Wow, I have not seen that.
really?
Yeah. I have
After
not seen
that, he received a letter to say happy birthday from Justin Trudeau.
Wow. What's your son's name?
Henry.
Henry. Wow, Henry, way to
He
go.
chose that name. He chose that name Henry because he said that Henry means a very smart and nice prince.
Goodness. Wow. Oh, Henry, way for you to go. Thank you for sharing that story with us. Maybe we should bring him here. He can share some ideas with us, right?
Yeah.
You're doing such an incredible work with Vietnam and Canada, bridging both countries and connecting them together. How did that come to your mind that this is what I want to do? Could you share your story on that?
So it's all started with my first decision when I want to move to Canada as an educator. I choose high skill worker program to do as an educator. And when I come to Canada, I spend time to observe to what the markets to make sure that what can I do. Because if you don't know the way, you may took 10 years to build everything that you want. But because I got my own goal in my mind, so I choose education. So I will mind map what related to education that I can achieve more or I can go fast. Like choosing vehicle. You choose
Yeah.
bicycle, but I choose car so I can move fast. So after 6 months in New Brunswick, working as an educator, I found that if I spend more time to do the networking and do some volunteer job, I can explore more about the jobs in the field. So I spent time to work as an agent. When it was the time when I work as an agent, I have more opportunities to work with the college, the high school, and the university. I understand more about education system,
Yes.
and I know what they need. So when you clarify what is your wants, your needs, your lacks, you can choose what is the right one for you at that time. It's all get back to the clear goals before you do,
Yes.
right? After working as an agent, I think that, okay, it will be the next step. I need to work with some organization that relates to government. So I work as a volunteer education manager for Vietnam Canada Trade Council. In that council, I have more networking with people work in governments, in the embassy, and I know how to do it. We organize the events to make sure that how can we connect between both nations and what we can bring to the people or the investor from both countries. After times I work in Trade Council, I found that, okay, education is still the most important to my life because I really want to connect people and I want to impact others. So I established my own council. It is Canada, Vietnam Culture and Educational Council. Times when I prepare for that council, because we have a mission, we just focus on culture and education because these things related to each other. I set up everything and I get back to all of the relations that I got before when I come to Canada. I share the ideas. I also ask them for their advice. One of the most important thing I think is showing your gratitude. Like you're showing gratitude to others who worked with you before. And I would love to take photos or videos to every step that I just passed. So just to make sure that, okay, I go in the right way.
Yeah.
So when I got everything in well prepared, back to my formula, preparations with opportunities will be success. I plan a trip to get back to Vietnam. I prepare a proposal to show Vietnam Embassy and show Canada Embassy to see what I can do. I had a great dislike for connecting people and what I contribute to the nation. And luckily it works.
Wow. Because you were clear with your idea, you were able to seek the guidance as well very clearly.
Yeah.
So that's a very big accomplishment. At least you had a dream and you worked on that dream and established something which we're all proud of.
Yeah.
Tran, let's talk about cultural exchange. Bridging Canada and Vietnam seems amazing, right?
yeah,
You have done it. It's a lot of big responsibility, but also a lot challenging. If we need to go back in the journey, can you recall some of the most funniest or maybe most surprising things that have happened while you were building these connections?
Yes, you'd be surprised how many hilarious moments come from simple translation mishap. One time, a Canadian principal visited Vietnam. Really want to impress by greeted them in Vietnamese, say "Xin chào," but finally, he ended up with a mixing phrase from hello with something like, I love spicy noodles.
Wow.
So the best part is everyone laughed, and it broke the ice completely.
Yeah.
Moments like those remind me that language barriers can actually bring us closer because we're all just people trying to connect. And shared laughter is the fastest way there.
And I'm sure he still remembers how to say
Yes, he said,
spicy
I'm
noodles
sorry,
in
what a
Vietnamese.
shame. But I say, no worry,
Yeah.
just because you use translation, that's fine.
Yeah. It's really surprising how cultures can connect us all in a very unexpected ways, right? You're a big advocate for supporting underprivileged learners, right? Can you give us some example where your work have reached to those learners who really need it that time?
So one of the initiatives I'm most proud of is our focus on community-driven education programs. Over the years, I've mentored university students, and especially those who are studying foreign language, helping them prepare for their careers, and of course, in turn, inspiring them to give back. Like many of the students went on teaching English in local communities, making language skills accessible to underserved areas, and truly a ripple effect of positive change. You know, because English right now is really needed for all of the students in Vietnam. So beyond that, I've also been part of Open Education for a Better World program. This championing free and open access to information for everyone. I also share resources and host free webinars connecting students from rural Vietnam and experts in Canada. And witnessing a child speak English confidently or a student become a mentor themselves remind me just how powerful and transformative education can be.
Yeah. And education changes lives.
Yes.
Right? Like
I believe
it's
that.
really true to say that.
Yes.
And I hope everybody listening to this episode takes this to their heart because small steps can lead to the big change. Try, you have won some huge awards. The most empowering woman in education and top edupreneur. And we were just chatting earlier, and just today,
yesterday.
you have another one in your
Yeah.
list. It's called Vietnam Top 10 National Intellectual, right? Congratulations! What an achievement!
Thank you.
And be honest, I know it's a very proud moment, and I'm sure you still remember what was going through in your mind when you were receiving those awards.
Yeah.
But when you first heard your name, what got in your head? Like, what was the first thing which you thought about?
Honestly, the first thought is usually, wait, did this just say my name? Am I supposed to say that? And it's a mix of excitement and disbelief. But right after that, it's pure gratitude
Yeah.
for the amazing teams, mentors, and communities that have been part of my journey. These awards might have my name on them, but then they represent so many collaborative efforts and share the belief in the power of education to change lives, like you said. And of course, a tiny part of me is also thinking, okay, the two on the way on the stage.
Well, I'm sure those who you have supported in their journeys are as happy as you are. And I must say, you're very humble. These are your accomplishments which you have received. And this is based on all the work. This is a result of all the work you have done. So congratulations one more time. And I'm sure it doesn't stop here. The list is going to continue
Yes.
in the future. And
Yeah, I've just add on one thing on the list. That today, beginning new year, I'll be here in Hanson College just sharing my story. That's my honor.
Yes, it's our honor as well. Thank you. All right, Trang. I'm sure the list of your achievements, your accomplishment is long, and we'll definitely get back to that. But let's loosen up a little bit with
Yeah,
this
ready.
amazing rapid fire.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes,
Okay. Tea or coffee?
tea. I did something to calm down my balance of crazy schedules.
Okay, that I agree. I think we are very similar to that. I love
Yeah.
tea as well.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite book for inspiration?
The courage to teach. It reminds me about the connection, the passions in education.
One word to describe Vietnam.
Amazing.
Oh my God, I cannot disagree with you.
Yes.
I had an opportunity to visit Vietnam, and trust me when I say this, I almost thought about moving there.
Oh, yeah.
The cafes, the music, the dancing, there's a life in that country, by the way.
Yeah. Right now, I just want to add on, share our very, very great experience last week when we won the championships of AFF Cup. Like the whole nation, they come down to the road, they use the Vietnamese flag, and they sing along.
Oh,
That's so amazing.
Were you there that time?
Oh, so regret that I'm not there. I was
Okay,
not there.
next time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if you weren't in education, what would you be doing?
Probably working in diplomacy or cultural events. I love that. I still find a way to bring people together.
And I can see that. I'm sure wherever you would have been, I think you would have been supporting people and changing lives.
I love that. That's my mission.
Well, I love it. And now we know the real Trang Trang. Thank
Yeah.
you. If you had a magic wand and could change one thing about the global education system, what would that be?
If I had a magic wand, I think I instantly make every corner of the world just one click away from high quality and cultural relevant learning resources, completely free. Imagine a universe digital library where students in remote mountain villages have the same access as those in buzzing metropolitan cities. Teachers everywhere would collaborate, swap ideas, and enrich each other's lessons. That's the dream. A seamless global classroom where open education is in the norm and not the exception. In my previous experience, when I worked for Twinkle Education Publishing, we create lots of Vietnamese teaching and learning materials, and we did some free campaigns for the user to use that materials. And I found that that's great because they need that, they love that. Like I want education is accessible for everyone.
Wow. And I wish that magic wand does appear for you
Yes,
one day.
I would love to.
I don't know if this is the right time, but do you know there are some countries who are actually doing it? The education is free. Like some countries in Europe, right? Like their education is all free. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
if it's high school or even like higher education.
Right now, as I mentioned before, when we work with Open Education for a Better World, we work with lots of Indian educators, America or Canada, like lots of countries, they contribute to that big project, not only education, but also science, math, emotion, or something like that. We create all free resources for everyone to access, and it works. We did it for 3 years until now. Like lots of more projects come to real life.
I think we have all come a very long way. Like traditionally, when I was growing up, I remember, okay, you have high school, then you have college, you have university, then you're working. Nobody was thinking about, let's go back to school or let's go back to college, right?
Yeah.
But now I see like everybody, even if they're already in their careers, they're always looking to upgrade the education.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
part of the magic wand is already there, I think, but other part, finger crossed, will come very soon.
Yes, of course.
You are a mentor yourself, right? And I have worked with so many like young students who just finished their high school, just finished their colleges, and now they are kind of want to achieve something, want to do something, but they don't know where to start. And they're also very hesitant to approach somebody for the guidance and mentorship. As a mentor yourself, what advice would you give to somebody who's looking for that mentorship but doesn't have that courage to go and ask for it?
So myself, right now we are in technology century. So one advisor for the young people who want to approach someone to mentor, I want them to prepare themselves first. Of course, first they need to make sure that what is their goal what they want to do for their career or something like that. Like they have to have their own plan before they reach out to people who can help them to make it in action. Like dreams don't work unless you do, right? So you need to prepare something that you want to ask for. You cannot come to me and say, "Hey, can you help me?" And I will ask, "What? How can I help you?" Like if you do not share your difficulties, you do not share your story, or you do not prepare what you have right now to make it possible, I cannot help you with that. So only one advice that if you want to reach out to some people who can help you or who could be your mentor, make sure that you are ready first. You're ready for yourself first. And then you prepare to share your story and your plan for the mentor and then ask for help.
Yeah, so be clear with your goals
yes.
and exactly what you're trying to achieve.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Thank you. And Trang, this has been absolutely incredible. I think I can go on and have more conversation with you.
Yeah.
But before we let you go, what's one piece of advice you would give to someone who's looking to make a big impact in their career or in their communities?
I've always believed in the formula preparation plus opportunities equals success, like I've mentioned before. If you put in the groundwork through learning, networking, and staying open minded, when the right chance come along, you'll be ready to seize it. And remember, when the culture is alive, knowledge truly shines. It's also our quotations for the council. So the more we embrace diverse perspective, the more we grow and the greater impact we can make in our communities.
Being such a powerhouse and inspiration. We really enjoyed this conversation with you, and I wish you very best for all of your future achievements and the change you're trying to make in the world. Thank you.
Thank you for having me today.